Hello, this is Phil Wagoner. I'm here today with the latest edition of my podcast, Raising Godly Children in an Ungodly World. In it, I'm interviewing young men and women who have gone through or are currently in the last 2 years of high school or college, or are new to navigating the world as an adult. These are young people who have kept their faith in God through the social and mental pressures that affect us all, especially young adults who are trying to find their niche in life. I want to know how they did it and are continuing to do it as they go from one step to the next in life. Then, when possible, we'll talk to their parents and get their perspective on their involvement. And at the end, I'll expound on a scripture from the Bible that talks about parenting. My guest today is Camden. Camden is a farm boy, a big, sturdy farm boy, who is another one of those kids I've known since birth. Welcome, Camden.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure. Camden's got a really good story, and let's just jump right into it. You're still in high school.
Correct.
So do you like it? I mean, how do you feel about high school?
I like it. It's a pretty good experience.
Yeah. What's the hardest thing about it?
Geometry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. How about what's the most fun?
Most fun would probably be playing football with my brothers.
With your brothers?
Yeah.
Now,
that's not in a literal sense. It's in a figurative.
Good. Because like I said, I've known you a long time. I know you have one brother, but he's not in school right now.
He's 22. So.
Yeah, he's 22 now. Oh, yeah, football, that was my favorite subject, too. That was my only subject, but that's another story for another time. What kind of pressures do you, as a Christian, do you face in a public high school?
A lot of peer pressures to do, I guess, the wrong thing, because people are constantly telling you what to do and trying to influence you on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm strong enough in my faith that I'm oftentimes influencing my friends more than they're influencing me.
Like I said, I've known Camden since birth. And when I was a children's minister at the church that Cameron goes to, I can remember I don't know if you were in kindergarten or you were young, first grade maybe or something like that. And he was sit up front and he wanted to know what was going on. And he always had great questions and different things like that. Where did that kind of an attitude come from? Do you know?
I don't really know. Probably my mom.
Yeah.
I've just been raised in a very positive household.
Yeah.
So.
But you were always excited to be in children's church.
Yeah.
And
I've always been kind of curious about kingdom business.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can remember one story. I think it was your dad had told me that you were like in second or third grade by this time, and you were out witnessing to anybody that would listen to you, trying to lead them to Christ. So that's really great. So back to high school, Camden. What was the one pressure that really affects you? I guess you're still there. What affects you the most? I mean, what a peer pressure that drugs, alcohol, women, what is it?
I feel like the biggest peer pressure I get is like listening to dirty music or saying bad words, because every time I'm in the locker room before pregame and everything, it's always rap music. So
off the chart rap.
Yeah.
Off your chart rap music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I know a lot of schools that I get into, that kind of music is not allowed. So apparently it is at your school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that is something. You know, the things that you listen to and the people you hang around with, I've found to be your biggest influencers. Do you think that's true in your case? Or
like I said earlier, I feel like I can be a big influence in people's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Not as much as they're influencing me, but I mean, there is obviously a little bit of influence there.
Mm-hmm. You're a good-sized kid. Where do you play on the team? Are you on the line?
I play center, nose guard, and the kicker.
Oh, you're the kicker.
Yeah.
Okay. So but you start in all three positions.
Yeah.
Now, are they playing 8-man
Yep.
ball where you're at?
8-man.
Okay. So it's not a big team, but that's a really fast form of football. I didn't play it, but I've seen a lot of it. So, what advice would you give 12-year-old Camden?
Just don't stop pursuing God and be bold.
How do you pursue God? Answer that. That's a good question. How do you pursue God?
I think the biggest thing you can do to pursue God is pray constantly, talk to Him, read the Bible, and get into church.
Okay, all three things. Now, are you in a youth group?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that? Are you consistently there? I know you live a ways from the church. Do you get there with football and everything? Are you able to get there consistently?
Yeah. Being a part of the praise and worship team at church definitely helps because, we kind of have an obligation to be here, but obviously we want to be here still.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm here every Sunday.
Now, when Camden says he's part of the praise and worship team, he's talking about the adult team on the platform and the main service. So yes, I guess I didn't think about that you got to be here, huh?
Yeah.
No choice. But it's a voluntary
Mm-hmm.
thing. You're not
Correct.
Yeah. Do you do something for a daily devotion?
Not really, but I kind of like to meditate on different words. Just like,
Different words in the Bible.
yeah, just kind of have, I don't know, like inner self-talk with God. I do a lot of talking with Him.
Okay.
So just
I
throughout the
understand
day,
that.
in the hallways and everything.
Uh-huh. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Joshua 1:8 talks about meditating on the word. If you don't let the word depart from your mouth, but meditate on it day and night. That'll lead you to becoming a doer of the word, and then which would bring around success in your life. And that word meditate does mean to talk to yourself. Tell yourself about it. So that's what you're doing. Did you know that? Did you remember? I taught you that a long time ago. Did you know? Is that why you're doing it? Because you read it in the Bible, or is that just kind of the way you've always been?
It's kind of the way I've always been taught.
Yeah.
And my parents have always told me to meditate on the word.
It works.
It's the best way to get it through.
Now you're the youngest in the
Mm-hmm.
family, so you have an older sister
Yep.
and an older brother. Your older sister is in college,
Correct.
and your older brother, last I heard, was working in construction.
He works at McDonald's.
He was
Red
at
Oak.
McDonald's now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember him. He's a good kid too. I always think about him a lot. In fact, he was friends with, or is friends with my granddaughter in North Carolina. They text back and forth. I guess they text. Maybe it's email. I'm not sure what all it is, but
Probably text.
yeah. Do you have a favorite scripture? Do you have a scripture that's kind of your life scripture?
Not particularly, but I like to think of the scripture, God hasn't given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Because while it's a simple verse, it kind of applies to everything in life. And if you just think about that all the time, you can really get through anything.
That's great. That's good. I believe the last interview we had, that was what she had come up with too. Well, that's terrific, Camden. I appreciate you stopping by and talking with us. What advice would you like to get out to your friends or neighbors or parents or grandparents that are listening to this? What's the one piece of advice you want to give them?
Just don't stop praying. Always pray and meditate on the word anytime that you can.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Camden. It was good having you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's our podcast for the day. Thanks for listening. If you're interested in a daily devotional, we have what we call the Word to Live By that goes out every morning. To have that sent to you on a daily basis, send me an email at pbwags@gmail.com. That's pbwaggs@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening. See you next time.